As we continue with our end of summer songs from the book of Psalms, today we begin a journey this week through Psalm 32. And if we were to give a heading to Psalm 32, it's really about the blessing of having our sins forgiven. So each day we'll read a couple verses from this psalm as we seek to understand it a little better and to hopefully experience it and apply it in our lives. Psalm 32 begins, "Happy are those whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Happy are those to whom the Lord imputes no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit." Three words that I especially notice in these two verses. First of all is happy, or in other translations it says blessed, or oh how blessed are those whose transgression is forgiven. It's a good feeling when we've done something wrong to experience forgiveness, isn't it? And all you have to do is think about a time when you've done something wrong, and it could be something that you did or something that you perhaps should have done but did not. It could have been something that you said or something that perhaps you should have said but did not, that led to some stress or grief or a rupture or some pain in a relationship. And when we have done wrong, you know how good it feels to be forgiven. And this is a kind of the thesis of Psalm 32. Oh, how happy. Oh, how happy are those whose transgression is forgiven. And what that should tell us right away is two things. One, when you know you've done something wrong, seek forgiveness as soon as possible, because you'll feel better when hopefully the other person is gracious and accepts your apology, your regret, and forgives you. And the other thing is that we should be ready and generous in extending forgiveness to those who have hurt us, because it's a way in which we set people free from the burden of their sin. And we'll talk more about that in the coming days. So happy, and then the two other words I want to note are iniquity and deceit in verse 2. So often in the Bible we learn both what to do, what we should do, and what we should avoid. So being willing to freely extend forgiveness to others because we know it will improve our relationship and they'll feel better. That's what we should do. What should we not do? We should not be people who are deceitful. We should not be people who practice iniquity, who practice behaviors and forms of speech that God clearly tells us in the Bible we shouldn't be doing. So we want to avoid deceit. We want to tell the truth. We want to avoid iniquity or evil. We want to be people who are people of the light, who are doing good. And we want to freely extend the gift of forgiveness. And so we begin Psalm 32.